A lot of people are upset about this news. It's currently making a lot of headlines, and a lot of people are now finding out about it and talking about it. I've heard a varying of different opinions, from good, bad, ugly, people saying that this will ruin anime culture, people saying that this will save anime and save anime culture. It's just been a big back and forth, and I really don't know which side is winning. However, I do want to make a brief statement before we go any further. I think anytime Hollywood and celebrities get involved in something, it's not a good thing. I think that we have seen time and time again with trends over decades, where when Hollywood starts getting involved with any form of entertainment or nerd culture, it typically goes sideways. And I think that this in general just goes to showcase another good example of anime going mainstream is not necessarily a good thing, but at this point, there's no turning back, there's nothing we really can do. Anime is mainstream, and nothing is relatively going to change that. So let's get right into this. So all these headlines are constantly saying, you ain't never seen an anime like this in your life. This is words from Megan Thee Stallion's own mouth, and I'm going to let the clip play itself before we go any further, because I don't want to take her words out of context. And yes, as you can see, she is cosplaying Yoruichi from Bleach in this brief little clip. This was, I think, at DreamCon that just happened recently. So yeah, let's play this clip before we go any further.
About to come out with my own anime. Yes, and it's gonna be on Amazon Prime.
Sorry for the audio.
That's the exclusive for the human audience.
Did we get more details? The name?
No, that's the excitement.
That's it. Okay. We're excited about that.
It's gonna be you ain't never seen an anime like this ever in your life.
So, her words are accurate. These headlines, you ain't never seen an anime like this in your life, straight from her own mouth. This isn't misquoting or anything like that. She has said that. So let's dive a little bit deeper into this. Who is Megan? Well, according to Forbes, she is one of the highest profile musicians in the world. Megan Thee Stallion will branch into a new form of media soon enough, and Amazon Prime will help her do it. So she is a very famous musician. She's someone that's made a lot of songs. She's made songs that's even referenced like JJK, for instance, and she's also done cosplays of My Hero Academia, Jujutsu Kaisen, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and obviously Bleach here. So she is definitely someone that does participate in anime culture. However, there is something that does need to be indicated. There is a pattern, and that is the fact that every time she does talk about anime, it's typically mainstream shonen series. Now, I do want to go on record and say there's nothing wrong with people enjoying shonen mainstream series. I enjoy them myself, but it's very clear that Megan doesn't potentially dive into the deeper parts of otaku anime culture and manga culture. She typically only participates in the things that really blow up in a lot of popularity, and I'm assuming it's only a matter of time until maybe she eventually dives into maybe soul leveling and talks about soul leveling just because of how popular it got. But the point I'm getting at is that when she makes a broad statement like, you ain't never seen an anime like this in your life, it feels so disingenuous to me, because obviously it's very clear she doesn't watch a lot of anime. Now, to be fair, I'm not Megan. I don't live her life. I don't know exactly what she does in her free time and how much anime she watches. Maybe she watches a lot and she just never talks about it. But I really doubt that. I doubt she's probably watched something like Girls Band Cry, Gurren Lagann, Kill la Kill, Ava. Yeah, you get the point. I doubt she's watched a lot of different series. I bet she's never even seen a Gundam series. And so I feel like most of the anime she probably knows about is just mainstream shonen in the last 6 to 7 years. And I think in general, her saying a statement like this, it's like, okay, so basically you're probably going to make something a little bit different from mainstream, but mainstream enough to be able to sell your product. And let's get into that one. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, anytime Hollywood and celebrities get involved in something, especially a hobby, very niche, I don't think it ends up too well. And I think that in general, when it comes to selling products for a broad audience, it needs to be very broad and mainstream and non-problematic, if you get my drift. And I think in general, when you think about that concept, to sell the product as much as possible, you need to have a wide net. And in this case, a wide net would mean mainstream shonen, with a lot of good animation and a lot of good action, and I think that's more or less what is going to happen, and this statement more or less is just to try to hype you up for the product, but the product is going to be more or less the same that everybody, at least the new anime fans, actually enjoy. Once again, nothing wrong with enjoying an action series, nothing wrong with enjoying shonen or anything like that, but I doubt this statement really is going to be true. I could be wrong. Maybe I'll stand corrected. Maybe it'll be the biggest pile of dog crap I've ever seen. But I will say that I doubt it's going to be something I've never seen before. Because I've watched a lot of anime, I've read a lot of manga, there's a lot of different themes, a lot of different concepts, and I doubt Megan can offer an insight in something completely unique and different into anime. But with that being said, though, we do need to talk about a few things. I want to point out that Megan has participated in the Anime Awards for 2024 over a year ago, and I find it very strange that despite her obvious connections with Crunchyroll, and Crunchyroll clearly having to pay her a good portion just to be able to have her here for these awards in 2024, I'm surprised she's not doing an anime project with them, but instead she decided to opt in for an Amazon Prime exclusive. Very strange to me, especially when you just look at the statistics. Like, Crunchyroll obviously, you know, regardless if you hate them or not, I mean, Crunchyroll does have a monopoly on anime. They do. Over 75%. And when you think about that situation, it's like, why would you not want your anime to appear on Crunchyroll when it would have more appeal to widespread anime fans, even mainstream shonen fans? And then I started thinking about it, I was like, Amazon. Amazon probably paid her more. So, I want to point that one out. I think that, in general, the reason why it's happening on Amazon is probably because Amazon was able to open up their checkbook a lot bigger than Crunchyroll was. Because, yes, Crunchyroll is massive, they do have some good money, and yes, they are owned by Sony, but I think Amazon, being just the giant it is, and owned by Jeff Bezos himself, yeah, they definitely have a bigger pocketbook. They can open up their checks and write her a bigger check than probably Crunchyroll ever could do. So I think that's probably what really led this and why this is happening in the first place. It's probably because Amazon was willing to pay a lot more to get this off the ground and for her to participate. So yeah, that is definitely something I wanted to mention. But with that being said, I don't know necessarily if this is going to ruin anime or anything or make it worse. Anime is already kind of going down a spiral. I mean, I've talked about this with many different topics, but I don't think that this is necessarily already going to be the final nail in the coffin. We're way beyond that. I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, Hollywood's been getting involved with anime for a while now, and celebrities and stuff, and using it kind of like a skin suit, and that's just what's going to continue to happen. I mean, it's what will continue to happen until eventually, you know, people no longer take anime or manga seriously, and they think it's only shonen series and nothing else to offer, and it's only a matter of time. I give or take 5 or so years from now, you're gonna have people think of, like, manga as the alternative to Marvel and DC, and like they're gonna think, like, you know, if it's not Marvel or DC, it means it's manga. That's what they're gonna assume, and I feel like that's gonna be a scary reality. It's only a matter of time until stuff like that happens, where those terms change, and that's what's happening here. So yeah, I mean, at this current time, we don't really know what the anime is about. Even in these articles and stuff, it like, Megan doesn't really give any context to how far the show is, what genre it is, you know, when it's coming out or anything like that. All she really added was, you ain't never seen an anime like this in your life, and that doesn't really give me any confidence when I hear stuff like that, especially when there's nothing to show for it, and especially when anything she's really talked about over the years is just mainstream action shonen. So I'm not really that confident. I'm gonna keep it real. But I'll leave it at that. What's your thoughts on this? Do you think that this is a good thing? Do you think this is a bad thing that Hollywood is getting involved and celebrities are getting involved? Let me know in the comments below. But I love you guys. Be safe. Stay healthy. Chibi out.